All right, what is good, everybody? I told y'all was gonna do it. I told y'all was gonna do it when I talked to Maddie. I said, man, you know what? When he was Mission Barry, I said, yeah, y'all was together. So you know what? I'm gonna make this happen. Long Barry got a schedule right now, that good stuff. But I'm gonna bring Maddie. I'm gonna bring Barry Church in. They play together. We're gonna kick it for a little bit of session. What's up with y'all? I got Barry Church. Secondary used to play with the Cowboys. Safety was a dog, and Maddie was the unicorn. I'm so mad. Did you see my post today, Maddie?
I did, man. I
With
appreciate
the
it.
safeties, you like that? Did you like
I
that?
did. I did. Yeah.
I gave you hella love on that one, right? I was like, damn it, and I'll even put you at the top of the list, Maddie.
I know. I saw that. I appreciate it,
Yeah,
dude.
you see, I show love, man. And then
Show love.
and then even at the end, I was like, let me throw Barry in there because Barry's a dog. I said people who was drafted, but I'm throwing Barry in there because Barry, everybody who wasn't drafted, Barry was the dog that outlasted all of them. You
Yep.
feel me? You
Yes,
feel me? So yeah. So let's do it, y'all. So what's good with you both? Y'all, how y'all doing today, man?
man, I'm doing good, man. Chilling. It was a good day today. Had a couple of the fam in town, so we was all hanging out, enjoying this good weather in Dallas, man. It was like 70 today. A couple
Man,
weeks ago it was
I
almost
know,
freezing
right?
everywhere, but it was
Crazy.
70 today, so it was a good day today, man.
Yes, sir. What about you, Maddie? You was at football practice today, man.
Yeah, I've just got done with practice. Same here. Weather was crazy today because we had about a foot of snow 2 weeks ago, and it was about 65 today. So
Ooh.
it was awesome, man, being able to run around. We got a new turf field that we get to practice on. So yeah, I mean, we came off a loss on Friday, so kind of got after the kids today, but they responded well. So it was a good day.
I like it. I like it. And you played on that weird field over in University of Eastern.
That's like red, isn't it?
Yeah, it was
Seems
like a
like
red
red.
field. I said, man, I said, who? What is that? And then I seen him getting 30,000 picks. I'm like, I like him.
Yeah. He was a ball
Yeah.
hawk, man. That's what I always
No,
say. Maddie was
you was
definitely a
too. Let
ball
me
hawk.
I'm gonna give y'all props before we jump into it because I caught something right here. First, I'm gonna give my guy Barry Church his flowers first.
No,
Barry
thank you. I
Church,
appreciate it.
when he was at University of Toledo, 4-year starter. 4-year starter. Barry Church finished with 354 tackles, 26 tackles for loss, 9 interceptions, 18 pass breakups, 6 forced fumbles, and 3 block kicks. He was selected first team All MAC 4 straight years, becoming the first Toledo and the third Mid-American Conference player to ever achieve that distinction. Dog.
Okay.
I
Dog.
appreciate it. I
Dog.
appreciate
But
it.
let's not forget Maddie Ice though. Maddie was killing it.
He
Maddie
was.
finished with 45 starts, 341 tackles, 5th in school history and 8th in Big Sky Conference, 22 tackles for loss, 30 pass defense, 17 interceptions, tied for most in school history, and 6 forced fumbles, the most in school history. Legend.
Mm.
See why they got after both of y'all, man, and them Cowboys. Y'all
Mm.
feel me? I love it, man. So I just want to give it y'all flowers right quick, man, because y'all was some dogs, man. I just really
Appreciate
respect, y'all, and I'm just happy to talk to y'all for real, for real. But let's jump right into it. We was going to talk secondary talk. We're going to talk a little cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, all that stuff. But first, both of you guys, Barry, you went undrafted in 2010. Matt, you was drafted in the 4th round, right? 2012.
Yep.
Right?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
I want to ask you, coming into the Dallas Cowboys, before we jump in anything, what was the scouts or even Jerry or Steven, what did they come to you and say? What do we really like about Matt Johnson, and what do we really like Barry Church? Did they come at you and tell you why we bring you in and what we think you can bring to the table?
See, for me, I didn't even get that conversation. I mean, I didn't I didn't meet Jerry or Steven until
Okay.
training camp that year. So for
Uh-huh.
me, it was the special teams coordinator. So the special teams coordinator, after the draft was all over, he had gave me a call, and it was Joe DeCamillis, and he was like, "Man, look, we like what you do at Toledo. You run good. You're very athletic. Right now, you're in this undrafted territory. So basically, you're gonna have to make the team through special teams. So you're gonna show me what you got." And so that's how he became my best friend. And that's how I ended up making the team through special teams. But what they liked about me, they said they just liked my instincts. Because coming out at the combine, I was slow as hell. I think I ran at the
4.7
combine
too.
something crazy slow. And then at my pro day, it was like a 4.66. So I was never the fastest dude. But what they liked about me was my instincts. And basically, I was a student of the game. And that's what allowed me to play so long, man. I was never the fastest, but I was able to basically know what was going on before the play was happening. So for me, that's what they liked about me, and it ended up sticking for a while.
I like it. And you was we know Barry Church is a dog. Maddie, when they brought you in, because a lot of people in the media was saying, yo, you reach for this kid out here, man. He played a you 4th round, Eastern Washington. They reached for you. Tell me what they thought about you when they brought you in, and what was they saying? Hey, Maddie, what are your strengths that we really liked, and that's why we drafted you in the 4th round?
So I think my biggest thing was I had a pretty good pro day, showed that I was healthy because I was banged up my senior year. And so Will McClay actually came out and worked me out at my school before I went down for a pre-draft visit in Dallas. I think the Will McClay workout went pretty well. I think my ball skills were the biggest thing that they kept talking about, was being able to range in the middle of the field and go get the ball. And then on my pre-draft visit in Dallas, I remember Rob Ryan come up to me, and I don't think he knew I was that big. And I think being from a smaller school, maybe thought I just wasn't that big of a kid or whatever it was. So I know he was kind of, and Rob's a character, so he made a big scene about it. I think that's probably the biggest thing, was just ball skills they kept mentioning. And then, being able to be with Coach Henderson, we got on the whiteboard, and I think kind of like football knowledge was a big thing. But yeah, I think just being able to play in the middle of the field, that's what they mentioned a ton. So I mean, hey, I was surprised I got drafted in the 4th too, man. I was thinking like 6th, 7th or undrafted. So when I went in the 4th, I was surprised too. So
hey, it was still dope, man. I'm gonna just tell you, to this day, I am pissed that them damn injuries, because y'all could have been there. No hate on JJ Wilcox or Jeff Heath or none of them guys. Okay.
Yeah.
But when I saw the tape of Maddie and I seen Barry, I said, pair them two. We got a free safety, we got a strong, and then maybe they can interchange. But the Lord had it somewhere else. But guess what? I got the combo here today. So it may not work out on the Cowboys, but it's here right now. So now I want to ask y'all a couple things. First, let's talk about some coverages, and then we'll talk about the coaches. All right. So when you guys both played, okay, cover 1, cover 2, cover 3, okay, kind of break down in y'all's kind of own versions. Let's specifically talk cover 3, because you got Dan Quinn coming in, and he's quote unquote the cover 3 guy. What is so good about this cover 3, and kind of explain it in both of your terms? Like, what is the cover 3? What is there to look at from the offensive side? Kind of break that down, cover 3, so other people may not understand it. And hell, I might not all the way understand it either. Teach me too.
Go ahead, big dog, Mike.
I think the biggest thing about Dan Quinn 3, I think we talked about it last time, was, Seahawks running it with Earl Thomas and Cam Chancellor, having that free safety that can cover those seams. Because that's a tough drop down. As a drop down safety, that strong safety's really got to play like a skiff technique. I'm pretty sure that's how he teaches it. So you got to carry the seam, get to the curl, and then rally to the flat. And that's tough, man. We run that with our high school, and like if our free safety, doesn't read the QB very well, or have instincts and can range, like we're kind of screwed, So I think that's a big thing, is having a free safety, but also just communication, like being able to talk between each other. Instincts is huge. That's why you look at those Seahawks teams. Those guys are students of the game, and then it looks like they're just playing faster than everybody else, And so I think that's a cool thing. Like you watch a couple of those plays when they're in that 2013, 12, 13, 14 season. I mean, those guys are killing cats on crossing routes, and then Earl's covering the middle of the field. So I don't know. I think that's more of what he's going to come in and run, but I don't know. That's kind of my perspective of like a cover 3. What you need is like a true free safety that can cover ground, and a strong Barry doesn't give himself credit either, but Barry and Cam, those guys are like really good coverage safeties too. You got to cover ground, you got to have length. I don't think Barry gives himself credit with that, like the length, and also dude never missed a fucking tackle, man. Like let's be real.
Y'all both was tackling machines in college, man. Y'all was crazy, and Barry's first year starting, he led the team in tackles.
That's what I'm saying. It's one thing in college, dude. He did in the league, man. He never missed a tackle. That's one gonna piss me off all the time, man. I got short ass arms. Barry's got those long, dude. So yeah.
Talk to me, Barry. What do you think about that cover 3?
No, Matt said it perfect, man. The carpenter needs his tools, and what
Uh-huh.
Dan Quinn had out there in Seattle, he had the tools. I mean, look,
Right.
he had Earl Thomas, who back in those days, he had some of the best range of any safety I've ever seen. We call it red line. So red line is like, I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Matt, but it's like 5 or 6.5 yards from the sideline. And
Yeah.
that's the range that a great free safety should be able to go. From the middle of the field, he should be able to read that quarterback. And when that quarterback releases the ball, he should be able to break and get to that range. And that's what Earl Thomas was able to do. Outside of that, you had, like Matt said, you had a Cam Chancellor who was basically an extra linebacker who could run. And that guy
Right.
was a filler in the hole. He punished cats in the hole. And what impressed me most about his game is just when he was a lurker, or he was that robber, he was that guy that kind of that free low rat player that kind of lurks around and see if anything breaks open. He was always so in tune with the quarterback that he knew where to break and he knew where to go to punish that receiver. And they didn't want to go over the middle because of that. So to Matt's point, you got to have those tools to make that defense come alive. And I think that's what made them come alive so well, because they were a simple defense. It was either
Right.
a cover three or it
Right.
was cover one. You rarely seen a too high system with those guys. So to
Yeah.
me, they knew the offense knew what they were in, but
Uh-huh.
they played it so well, and it was so simple. It was like, all right, here's the huddle. The huddle broke. It's a close right, close left. Everybody knew the responsibilities. Boom. And I think if he's able to bring that type of mentality or that simplistic defense to what we have in Dallas, I think it will allow Jalen, it will allow LVE and those guys to play a lot faster. I mean, if we
Yeah.
looked at it this year, it seemed a lot was on his plate, Jalen Smith, and a lot was on LVE's plate because they were basically the quarterbacks of the defense now. They were making more than just a close call. They were lining this
Right.
guy up, making sure this
Right.
guy's having the right responsibility, and it kind of lacked in their own responsibilities on the field. So for me, if Quinn's able to bring that simple defense here and get those guys just look, this is what you got to do: break the huddle, run fast, and hit. I think we'll
Yep.
bring the most out of that defense. And it'll be similar to that 2018 if we're able to get back to that where those guys were making huge plays. And we considered them, maybe the top tandem in the NFL at the time. So for me, if we can get back to that simple style, I think it'll do benefits for this defense overall.
And so that brings me to my point because both of you guys played under Rob Ryan. Okay. And Rob Ryan has had this like rep of it's too complicated. It's the scheme is complicated. You got to think too much. You can't just react. You can't make plays. And Matt, I remember you telling me that Rob would have a playbook or a plan all week, and then during the weekend he throw in some wrinkles, and then to try to confuse the offense. But it was confusing y'all too because he was thrown in there the last minute, and then the confusion was coming. Kind of both of y'all talk about that because that's where Mike Nolan came in and said, I'm going to do this, this, and this. And everybody was complaining about it being complicated. When players say the scheme is complicated, what does that mean for the common folk?
It's what Barry just talked about with playing fast and not having too much on their plate. Like I think we talked about I remember watching the first game of the year this year against the Rams and thinking our defense is just a step slow. And it's not.
Mm-hmm.
We had the athletes, like we had the dudes out there. It's just we were thinking too much. And I think, to Rob's credit, he was like a mad scientist. And there's a lot of times he dials shit up to where, we're getting a loss or we're getting a pick. But there's sometimes where, we're miscommunication and that gives up a big play. And there's some defense coordinators love that. It's going to be ride or die with what they do. And then some defense coordinators sit back and let their players play. Like I'm a big component of that. Like defense is so reactionary. Like you got to play fast, react to what the offense is doing. But some defense coordinators like to dial it up. And, to his credit, he did that well for a long time in the league. But yeah, there's some times where, and it was my first year in the league. So I was kind of swimming anyways, but man, once we switched a little bit, like I was able to pick it up a lot faster. And that second year working with Barry, like it just became second nature, and I was playing fast and feeling like myself, like I was in college. And I think that's the difference between those two, playing too fast or thinking too much. You can't play as fast. Like it's just common sense. So I think Barry, what he said about bringing that in and just letting those guys play, letting those guys let the athleticism show, because like our two backers they're probably two of the most athletic guys in the league. Like if you think about, size and speed and all that stuff. So, and it didn't show a ton last year. So I think it will this year.
Let's hope. Talk to me about Rob. Rob Ryan. Barry, what is your thoughts on him?
Yeah, Matt, that ain't lie once right there, man. Rob has some of the hardest schemes, one of the hardest schemes I think I've ever had to play while
Really?
I was in the NFL, man. And it was so Like Matt
Why
said,
was it so hard, fellas?
Because he would throw wrinkles in there, like for
Right.
every single motion,
Uh-huh.
every single switch or shift. If the offensive player picked up his hand and put it back down, Rob was like, "Oh, wait up, hold on, we gotta check, we got to audible, we got to." Like he was trying to match every audible for the offenses. Like if Peyton Manning were to say, "All right, Omaha left," we had to say Omaha right or something. I mean, it was just, it was so many checks. And in the secondary, I mean, you got to relay it to the corner might be way on the other side of the field, and say if I'm the safety and I'm the only one that gets it, it's hard to communicate it throughout the whole secondary. And I think that's where we struggled a lot. Like, because we were talented. We had a very, very talented defense. But where we struggled in is just we couldn't communicate it that well. And things were happening fast. And teams recognized that, and they started speeding it up on us. I think around that time was the Chip Kelly kind of fast-paced system that was going in. So it was hard. It was hard with that type of system to go around. But like Matt says, if he dials it up, I mean, sometimes he can get after it, and he becomes that mad scientist where he's mixing chemistry sets here. Let me put this defensive lineman over here. Let me switch this. Let me drop him. And like Matt said, sometimes it works, but then sometimes you get burnt. You get burnt pretty bad. So his system was extremely tough, and I think that's what those guys had to go through a little bit this year with Mike Nolan.
Right.
Because coming in here, he had a very multiple style defense where it wasn't just simple. You had guys like D-Law and Dorrance Armstrong dropping in coverage, something that they've never done before. And you got guys blitzing and moving pieces and moving parts. And not saying that type of defense can't work, but when you have that such a limited time, you don't have OTAs because of COVID. You don't have mini camp. You don't have training camp. You don't have preseason. You don't have all that to get that style of defense under wraps. It's going to be hard, and we've shown it this year as we were historically bad.
Yeah, and I mean, going back to that, now here's the thing, and I'm going to ask y'all one question because I'm going to go to this Monty Kiffin thing. Y'all went from Rob Ryan, super complex. Now, let me ask y'all, did y'all like Rob Ryan as a defensive coach, though?
Oh, he was a hell of a guy to play for.
Okay.
Yeah. Like, he made the game fun for me.
Did he?
Oh, yeah.
I'm going to keep it real, Matt. I liked Rob Ryan. I was frustrated when they fired him. I get it that he was giving up plays, but I came front. I love that aggression. I love when he send them damn blitzes in 7, 8, 9, 10 coming after your ass, and I don't care. Sometimes, okay, if you give up a big play, that's cool. But I like seeing all them people coming after you in all kind of different waves. People was mad at him. I was cool. I was mad when they let him go. And he was even mad. He said, I'm the scapegoat. Y'all played me and made me the scapegoat. And I like his personality. He gave us that edge.
Oh, he did, man. Yeah.
Go ahead, Maddie. Go ahead.
No, like Barry was saying, like, and I didn't play much, like, obviously play much, but I love playing for him. He got you hyped. He got you ready to go. His meetings, like, to this day, his meetings are freaking hilarious. Like, and I try to, like, emulate some of that with my high school kids, and I'm just not that type of dude, so I can't keep it up. But, like, man, his meetings were hilarious. Like, and so that's the thing. You come in on, like, a Tuesday, Wednesday in the morning, and, like, you're, sipping coffee, trying to wake up. He runs in there with full energy. Like, the thing is, like, guys played their ass off for him. Like, even the All-Stars, Pro Bowls, all that stuff, they played their ass off for him. And so that's one thing that he always had. Like, he had guys that had his back for sure.
I like that. I want players to have their coaches back and go all out. Yes, you might give up some plays, but if them players are playing for you like Marinelli, when they're playing for you and going all out every single play, I can take that. I can deal with that. Now, here's a quick switch. You went from complicated, then you went to Monty Kiffin. Tell me about that experience with Monty Kiffin, because I was mad as hell when they hired him. I said, this dude is 92 years old. He is a wizard. Like, dude is like Bilbo Baggins, like wizard guy. Like, are we serious?
The Great.
Dog, you feel me? Like, what did y'all think when y'all switched from Rob Ryan in the locker room? When y'all switched from Rob Ryan to Monty Kiffin, what was y'all thoughts?
I'll let Barry take that one.
Man, look, I'm gonna tell you, man. It was like, man, you ever have like like somebody in your family or somebody or one of your friends' family got that crazy old uncle? Like, that's how he was, man. And you could tell, like, some days he would come in and you'd be like, man, did he not take his medicine or something? Like, 'cause he would come in hair crazy. The little bit of hair he had was all crazy. And he would come in there just high-pitched voice, just like, whoa, you guys ready to go? Like, whoa. And I was just like, yo, what is this man talking about? And then we would try to like he would bounce around position groups, bounce around or whatever, and he would come to the secondary room. And every time he came to the secondary room, everybody was like, "Oh, here we go,
Oh
man."
no, here we go.
Cause like Kiff, man, he didn't know. Like I'm like back in the day, he was a genius, but
Back
like
in the day.
yeah, like the age of football we were in at that time, man, it kind of it went over him, it passed him up. And the stuff, I mean, the stuff we would break down in film study, we're like, yo, Kiff, our responsibility's over here. We're not supposed to be down there. And he go, oh yeah, you're right. All right, let's go to the next one. And I'm just like, man, my boy was he was something else, man. He was something else.
That is wild. Matt, tell me about Monty, man.
Barry hit it right on the head, dude. Like that's so funny because like you got such memories, like your impersonation of him, dude. Like so funny. Like there was times that he'd be bouncing around from practice, and like I remember even like OTAs and stuff, and we're trying to get some like 7-on-7 back end stuff, and like he's just kind of like saying random shit, and like we don't know what the hell we're doing, and like, me being a young guy, I just went along with it half the time, you know, like. I don't know what's going on, but yeah, Barry hit it on the head, dude. Like, and that, yeah, he was a genius back in the day. And there was some stuff that he, you know, said that was, you know, football 101 stuff that was, you know, we needed to hear. But yeah, the game passed by what we were trying to do at that point. Offense. So complex.
Now here's a question I want to ask to both of y'all, because here's the thing. You had the Mike Nolan thing where they were saying players were feeling like they were checking out and things of that nature. With what Monty Kiffin, did players check out because y'all like, man, this dude is outdated, man? Whatever. Did players do that?
With the group of guys we had in the locker room, there was never anybody that kind of checked out. I mean, they kind of, you know, looked at him like, man, what was Monty talking about? And then one, you know, then because the coaches, they sensed it as well.
Right.
And nobody wanted to disrespect Monty because, you know, he was a legend in the game, and nobody wanted to be like, man, you don't know what the hell you're talking about. So, you know, we let him do his thing. He, you know, got him hyped, but when he left, you know, then the coaches would, you know, really break it down for us. So nobody really wanted to disrespect him like that. But as far as throwing it in or anything like that, nah. I mean, the guys we had in that room, I mean, we just had respect for everybody. And it was, you wouldn't have heard no, you know, anonymous quotes coming out talking about, you know, this guy can't coach or anything like that. Because, you know, our locker room was extremely tight, and we just had respect for everybody.
That's what's up. Now, let me ask y'all one quick question. What made y'all locker room so tight?
I don't know. That's a good question, man. You know,
what makes a locker room tight?
It's the leaders, dude.
13. Yeah, there you go. Maddie said it right there.
It's the leaders.
Maddie,
like
you had it.
Talk to me, Maddie.
We had leaders at every level. That's one thing that, like, you know, being a coach now, you can kind of see things from a different angle. Like we had Barry was the leader in the back end. You know, we had Sean Lee at linebacker, and we had some old vets up in the front that, you know, led the right way. And we weren't, you know, and that's one thing being a young guy was so awesome. And I look at it because like I only played a couple of years, so I don't know how other locker rooms are in the NFL. But I tell everybody, like, dude, it felt like a college locker room to me. And like, obviously, you don't hang out as much outside of football as you do in college. But like, dude, I felt love from day one, you know, and I felt like everybody's on the same page. And that's one thing. Like when I got done playing, I rooted for all those guys so hard, like because they all deserved, you know, success, and because they were all great to everybody. Like it was there's no like, you know, hazing bullshit and none stuff like that. Everybody was on the same page. We all wanted the same things. Just shit didn't go our way. But I think that was the best thing about the leaders we had. And, you know, Barry was a quiet leader. Sean Lee was a quiet leader to some. And then when it's time to speak up, he was time to speak up. But like those guys had the respect of everybody else. And I felt that the day I walked in. So like, I think that was a big thing about it. It was just, we had leaders at every level, and leaders that knew when to speak up. And there's more lead by example guys, which a lot of times you don't want raw guys because that shit gets old quick, especially when you're not having success, you know? And so lead by example guys are the guys that like you're always going to have their back. It's never going to fall off. And I think that's what we had. So.
Yeah, that's real good what you just said. Rah guys. Nobody want to keep hearing that stuff when you're getting your ass kicked every week. I mean, just real talk. Like real talk. Nobody want to keep hearing that stuff. So I got a few more things for y'all. First of all, switching over to Rob Marinelli and Matt, just looking from afar. When we talked about Dan Quinn, and you even mentioned it, Barry, and we talked about it, Matt, how you was excited about bringing in Dan Quinn, how it's going to be more simplified, and it was more simplified when they brought Rob Marinelli in. Okay. And it seemed like we saw 2018, how that defense played fast. We saw, I mean, he had a pretty good, if you talk about middle level as far as rankings, it was always mid-level defense. I mean, he had a couple years where y'all had kept them under rushing 100 yards, but I think that was more of that offense in 2014 and 2016 that kept the defense off the field, the reason why there wasn't a lot of teams rushing. And I would see a lot of teams go away from the run, and I was like, damn, they helping us. Thank you. I appreciate that, because we kind of soften that middle, but I appreciate you.
Yes,
but,
sir.
you know, kind of just tell me about maybe kind of compare a Marinelli to a Quinn. Do you think they kind of compare as far as the simplicity of the defense, where, like you said, those guys can play fast? Because you played under it, Barry, when they left from Kiffin and then they went to Marinelli. Did you see the difference of, okay, damn, I like Marinelli, I can play fast, I can play free? Kind of your thoughts, and even Matt from afar, you know, looking from afar. I mean, both of y'all talk to me about that.
Well, for me, when we were in there, see Kiff's year, when I tell you he would come in and be like, oh man, everybody be like, man, this dude know what he's talking about. And when he would leave, the guy that would take over was Marinelli, because that was his boy.
Got you.
So Marinelli already had kind of his footprint in there, kind of his, you know, his DNA and his philosophy on football. He kind of already had it entrenched in us. And his philosophy was all about hustle, all about running to the ball, getting to the ball, no matter who it is, what it is, run to the ball, and good things will happen. If we're going 100 miles an hour, if we're all right, or if we're all wrong, we're all right. He had that type of mentality with him. And so when he came in, it was already known the philosophy that he wanted to play. We just had to go in there and change a little bit of the philosophies that Kiff had as far as variables when we're going out there on the defensive side of the ball. Like, you know, this guy's not dropping here. We're going to put his hand in the dirt, that type of thing. So when Marinelli took over, he was already kind of the intern DC while Kiff was there. So for him, it was an easy, seamless transition. And we played fast and we played hard. And the reason I think those defenses were successful is, you know, like you said, we ran hard, we ran to the ball. Everybody was at the ball at the same time, but we took the ball away as well. I think we had like 38 or
that first
40
that 2014
takeaways.
when he became the defensive coordinator, it was nutty. That's why I think everybody was frustrated, because we saw them damn turnovers. It wasn't a great per se statistical defense, but as far as the turnovers, the ball hawking,
15, 16, but we was taking that thing
we
away,
was getting the ball.
Sure.
And that's the biggest thing when we even talking about now. We saw it even now this year, Matt and Barry, that even the defense wasn't good, but when they got turnovers, when they got turnovers, we still were in the game.
That 3-game win streak, we took the ball away
10 times. 10, 11 times.
Yeah, we took it away 10 times. And we got 3 dubs, 3 quick dubs. Bang, bang, bang. Like, so, and
it don't matter if it's a good or bad team. Turnovers make a difference.
Yep. And that's what they preached day in and day out.
Yeah, it's the number one stat in winning games, dude. And that's one thing I remember Coach Garrett used to show the stats like every single start of the season. Like, you know, turnover margin always equates to winning games in the playoff, dude. That's like the number one stat in football. If you turn the ball over and if you get turnovers and you don't turn it over, you're going to win games. I don't care who it is. Like, that's the number one stat. That's so funny. Barry talks about the energy and like talking running the ball with Marinelli. I remember a funny story though. So OTAs and like me and Barry are running with the ones with safeties and we're doing a pursuit drill. And the biggest thing with Marinelli is like you got to finish past the sidelines. Like you got to finish like 5 yards past. You can't slow down at all. And so I remember, I don't know if anybody else saw it, but I remember watching on film the next day. Like to myself, I'm like, there's no way in hell I'm going to make, you know, D-Ware, Sean Lee run this drill again. Like, no way it's not going to be on me. But like, you see me like Forrest Gump running past the fucking sideline, like
you diving.
There's no way it's going to be me.
He's like, no, I ain't going to be having these. I ain't going to be the dude. It ain't going to be me. It ain't going to be me. It ain't going to be me. You feel me? That's funny as hell. Hey, so we're talking about, you got Marinelli, and I want to talk about you two about the cohesion in the secondary. Okay, you guys were both in the secondary together. Obviously, maybe not game time, but you guys were both on the field. Talk about how important that chemistry is between a strong safety and a free safety. And when the labels, me and Barry, when you was on the hype, you talked about the labels. They was throwing the labels. But when you first came in, Barry, you was more the free safety and JJ Cox was the strong. Then they brought Matty in and they kind of made you more of a strong. And then Matty was the free. Talk about how important that cohesion is in the back end with both of those guys strong and free. And just talk about, you know, do you guys kick it with each other? I mean, is the relationship off the field that you guys kind of build to kind of get that camaraderie when you're right there on the field where you kind of, I don't have to say nothing to him. He already knows.
Yeah, you gotta be like you're tight with your running mate, whoever's starting with you, or if you're with the twos or the threes, whoever you with, that running mate beside you, at least when you on the field, y'all gotta be tight and y'all gotta have that wavelength together because you guys are the only ones in the secondary who can see the whole formation, can see the whole field. You got that bird's eye view. Even when you break the huddle, I know the strong safety sometimes goes down, it doesn't stay back the whole time, but when you first break that huddle, you see if it's gonna be 2 by 2, 3 by 1, whatever it's gonna be, and you guys are considered the quarterbacks of the secondary. You
Mm-hmm.
relay your message to the boundary corner. He's going to relay the message to the field corner. Y'all all got to be as one because if you're not, and what we saw this year with our secondary, unfortunately, we
Right.
saw they were not on the same page. Half of the time, you were looking Darian Thompson or whoever was back there with Xavier Woods, they weren't even communicating with each other. It was like they break
Right.
the huddle and not even look at each other. And I just don't understand how that even happens because
Right.
as a safety, you look and you like, all right, let me make sure I'm on the same wavelength. I'm throwing out calls, but I got to make sure he's on the same wavelength because if we crisscross calls, I mean, that's how you get bust. That's how you get huge plays. So for me, as a secondary, you got to be tight with that guy, and that usually whoever's the starting tandem or whoever's the twos or the three, they always kind of sit next to each other in the meeting. So y'all can break down things. So it doesn't just happen on the football field when you guys are on this wavelength. While you guys are breaking down film, you guys are comparing those lookings like, all right, that's how we did that. Hey, next time I'm gonna do it like this. I'm gonna funnel them back to you because I know this is how I play this better. You guys got to know the strengths and weaknesses of each other to be considered a great tandem. Because if not, you saw what happened this year. It was bombs over Baghdad. So for me, you got to have the
Bombs over
wavelength with your boy.
Baghdad.
Yep.
What about you, Maddie?
It's the same thing, man. And it makes you play faster too. It's like a comfort level, if you guys are both on the same page. And, me being a younger guy, Barry did such a good job of that, of, reassuring that, hey, I got the right call. Half the time it's just making sure you guys are on the same page. You guys both know what's going on. It's just, hey, we're on the same page. We're going to play fast now, and it kind of sometimes when you really get into it too, it's, preparing for motion, preparing for shifts. Like, hey, when this happens, we got to switch back, shit like that. So, it's the same thing. You got to be on the same page. And he said the same thing when you're running with twos and running with threes. You're by that guy on the sideline. You're by that guy in meetings. Like, you guys got to be on the same page because you're competing for a job. You're competing for money. So, you want to make sure you give your best shot, to be able to compete and succeed out there. But I was lucky, man. Barry made it easy for me. Like I said, he was a quiet leader, but like he always knew, like, I mean, you get to playing with guys enough that like it's almost like second nature that you don't even got to say a ton. You can see certain guys, read them if they know what's going on or not, and then and being a safety, you gotta relate to corners too, and corners are they're a different breed than safety.
Yeah.
Why? Okay, why is corners different breed than a safety?
They're just
What's
different. Like,
why?
Different mentality. Yeah, they're on an island too, man. Like, I'm not saying like I don't envy what they do at all. They're just different mentality. We're quarterbacks of the defense. They're so locked in what they do. So like. You got to help them out any chance you can get. Like, and then so you got to be able to relate to those guys as well. I think that's one thing that Barry did such a good job of, is having everybody on the same page. And I think that's when you have a good defense. That's you have that as a linebacker, you have that as a safety. Like, everybody kind of brings everybody together. I mean, that's a goal, right? To get everybody to play their fastest and play their best. And so, kind of being like, I'm a teacher and a coach now, so I see that like you got to relate to certain people different ways. Like, I can yell at one of my kids and get after his ass, and then if I yell at one, he's going to cower and be terrible the day. So you got to be able to relate to people certain different ways, and I think leaders do that the best. But yeah, safeties, you got to be on the same page the whole time.
So from what listening to you guys, it sounded like you guys were close. You guys talked. When I've been seeing the Cowboys the last few years, and just what you said, Barry, how Xavier Woods don't see the communication, that's where we're wondering, like, where's y'all talking about this locker room? I'm talking about the Dallas Cowboys. I'm like, well, is this locker room tight? Because we still keep finding miscommunication week in, week out, same things, uninspired play, people ain't studying like they should be. I mean, I feel like those things contribute to why your defense isn't good. I'm a defensive guy. This is a defensive YouTube channel. Okay. This ain't offensive This ain't no offensive YouTube channel. This ain't quarterbacks, receivers. You go somewhere else. We do defense on this channel. Okay. Because to me, offense sells tickets, defense wins championships. And I don't care. Like I said, you can have all them 40 burgers you want, but eventually the offense is going to shut down and that defense is going to have to be able to make plays. And that defense always carries, y'all. And that's why I said, even when you guys were drafted, I went back to at least like 2011. And I've said, and I want to ask y'all this before we get ready to head out of here. I want to ask y'all this. When I did a show a couple days ago, and I was saying Dallas hasn't drafted good defensively since like 2011, even when you guys were in the fold. When I look at the defensive tackles I made post, that defensive tackles, we failed, y'all. I mean, we have not done good in drafting the defensive tackles and even the safety positions. A lot of players are gone. What do y'all think they need to do this year in this draft? Maybe have about 10 picks. What should this draft be in both of y'all's opinion? What should be high pick? I mean, what should Cowboys really go after first and foremost?
For me, I think we got to go defensively. I mean, and it's going to be a lot of pressure on Will McClay and those boys to hit on these draft picks, because once we get this deal done with Dak, our cap space is going to be hit. I mean, it's already low as it is right now, but once we get that Dak done, that deal with Dak done, we're going to be low on the funds as far as getting primary free agents. So that's going to be solely on the draft, and it's going to be on the scouting department. It's going to be on Will McClay to hit on these draft prospects. And for me, I think we need to address two positions. We got to address them, and that's the corner position. I think that's the interior defensive line. I think we got at least one piece with Neville Gallimore on that interior piece I'm talking about. I think we have one piece with Neville Gallimore. I like what I've seen from him last year. I need a little bit more consistency, and I'm sure we'll get that with this year. Him being like fully entrenched as that starter, but I think he needs another running mate in there, because I don't see Crawford. He may retire. I don't see them bringing him back if he doesn't. Tristan Hill, he played pretty well towards the beginning, but he's coming off an ACL injury, and you just never know how a player's body is going to respond and come back from injury. So we just don't know there. We need to create some type of competition there. So we need to get a draft pick, early draft pick, I think, at the defensive tackle position. And I think you need to go to corner as well. I think you need to get somebody to pair with Trayvon Diggs out there. He had an up and down rookie season, but for the most part, I loved his competitiveness. I love how he fought. I mean, he was going against his first couple weeks in the league. He went against arguably 6 of the top 10
dogs.
receivers. I mean, he
came right out the gate. Dogs.
Metcalf. He went against dogs. I don't know what veteran quarterback wouldn't struggle against that crew. So I like what I saw from him. I think he has the ability to be one of the better cornerbacks as time progresses. So I think those are the two positions in the draft you need to hit on key. And if we do have some money left over in free agency, I think we got to adjust the free safety position. I think we got something at the strong with Wilson. I like what I've seen from him. I need a bigger sample size, but I think we got something in a strong safety position. But free, we need a veteran guy back there that can kind of tie it all together, get all these young guys in the right direction, get the most production out of those guys. And I think a veteran free safety would do that. But overall, we got to hit on that D tackle, and we got to hit on that corner, in my opinion.
I feel you. What about you, Matt?
Man, I'm the same as Barry for sure. That's such a good call, getting a vet free safety in there, because I think that's another thing with communication. I think that's a bunch of young guys, lack of communication. That's where I was lucky. I had, Barry and guys to look up to understand how to study the game and how to communicate. So I agree with you too. And I think, at that pick number 10, whatever you can get, if you have a stud D tackle, if you have a stud corner, I think like that Farley corner, if he's there, keep hearing good things about him. But I'm the same with you, Barry. I think it's tough, because at that pick 10, I think you got to pick the best of those two positions at 10, and I know that's saying a lot, and it could be a ton of different people, but I think both those two spots and getting a vet free safety in there would be huge. And whether that be a DT at pick 10 or that Farley or another corner at 10, whatever the draft happens, I think that's our best spots to do, because I love Trayvon Diggs, man. I know his ball skills and his, how tough he's going to play, and he's not going to back down from anybody, but we need someone else to pair with him, especially if we're playing this Dan Quinn style D. You got to have a couple. I mean, that's one thing that Seahawks defense, Legion of Boom, they had four studs. So, that if we can get another guy to pair with him and get a free safety in there with free agency, that'd be awesome. So
now, do y'all think for the defensive tackle, do you think we need more of a 3-tech, like somebody who can go back and forth, or do we think we need to really hit on a solid 1-tech? Like, because we have guys like you talked about, Barry Crawford. He can slide in. He played defensive end. You got guys can slide in, but we don't have a true 1-tech. We don't have a true. Antoine Woods is the only one on the roster, and I don't think he's the starter to me, in my opinion.
Yeah,
do you think we need to get that one tech, or do you think we need a guy that can slide both sides?
I think we need a. I need a big body one tech. I think we got a guy that can slide both sides and Gallimore, but we've seen time and time again this year, man, that those offensive linemen were able to get to the second levels too quick, and they were able to get up on our linebackers extremely fast. And that was half of the time they were trying to battle those big offensive linemen, and there goes the running back screaming up the hole. So for me, we need a big boy one tech in there, kind of hold those guys up. He doesn't have to be the best pass rusher there is. And I'm sure we might be able to get one of these guys in the later rounds. You don't got to go first round with this, but we need somebody in there that can at least hold up these O linemen to let those linebackers run sideline to sideline. That's what they do best. They run sideline to sideline. And if we can get somebody that can do that type of work, I think it'll benefit this defense overall.
Yeah, let's just hope so, because like I said, man, I'm going to just tell y'all right now, I'm tired of this frustration. I'm tired of this defense being lacking. I'm for real, man. Like, I'm tired of this defense being lacking. Like, if you go through the drafts of the Cowboys, they heavy offense. Like, you see the offensive players that still are on the team, but it's like so much turnover rate with the defense. So much guys in and out. There's no consistency with the defense like it is the offense. Like, when they built that offensive line, it was stable. When they got the receiving core in there, it's stable. When they got Ezekiel Elliott in there, stable. But that defense has not been stable, and I feel like that is the biggest reason why Cowboys have been mediocre year in and year out, because the bend don't break. Yeah, it's okay, but when you get in them playoffs, that shit don't work. You need that damn defense to be able to take charge and take over when you need it. Make timely turnovers. Get a big sack. Get a big tackle for loss and get them off the field so you can get your offense down the field in good field position instead of taking a 15, 17-play drive. Now you got a 3-play drive. You score quick. Now you put the pressure on their offense. That's what I want, you guys. That's what I miss, when we can just stop them, get them off the field or get a quick turnover. You score quick. Now the pressure is on them. Now you got them out the run game. Now they feel like they got to press, and now you can create turnovers. That's what the mold I hope Dan Quinn can bring. I'm not saying I'm jumping for joy for Dan Quinn, and I'm not anybody, but hey, I'm like, let's see, because I also feel this, both of y'all. I mean, not that I'm anybody, but I coached youth football for 15 years. I went back in the game. I took some time off, but I was a head coach for about 3 or 4 years, and I was always a defensive coordinator. I was a good head coach, but I'm correlated to Dan Quinn. When I became the head coach, too much responsibility came over there. I had to worry about offense. I had to worry about defense. I had to worry about special teams. I had to worry about parents. I had to worry about this, that. And I felt like I was all over the place, and I couldn't really hone in on what I wanted. But when I was defensive coordinator, I only had to worry about one damn thing, defense. And I could just put all my energy into it, and it was super successful. So maybe because Dan Quinn can be pulled away from the head coach thing, and he can go back to solely coaching defense and hone in on that, maybe those things can change. And I think one last thing, he really needs to bond these guys together. I don't feel like there's a bond in that locker room, in my opinion. And I feel like he's got to really capture that locker room like y'all said Rob Ryan did. I need Dan Quinn to get that locker room like that, because like y'all said, when y'all are together as a team in your meetings and everything, it just naturally flows when you go on the field. Even if you have guys that maybe not be the best, when you're all playing together, they seem to step their game up because you're all one mind.
No doubt, my thoughts. No doubt.
I sound like a damn coach right there. That's Coach J Film Day, damn it.
It is.
Hey, man, but you know, like I said, I didn't want to hold y'all on. Just want to get y'all in here, man, and talk to y'all, man. I really, 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 really appreciate y'all. And I want to say one thing real quick, and don't I ain't sweating y'all. But I just want to tell y'all, I never thought I was going to be able to be doing this, you know, when I got into media. And it's just crazy that I'm talking my dog Barry Church and Matt Johnson. When I was reading about y'all all, you know, my days like, oh, watching that film, like, oh, Matty gonna be sweet. He got all the damn interceptions. I said, Matty gonna be sweet. Look at all them interceptions. You play on that red field. I don't care, dog. He's 6'1", 212. Oh, yeah, he about to be nasty. And then when I seen Barry, when they picked up you, Barry, I was like, hey, watch that 42, dog. He got some long-ass arms, dog.
The long wickets, man.
I said
Long
he got some long ass arms. Keep your eye on him. And just much respect to both of y'all, man, because you did your thing. And Maddie, I'm frustrated because I just tell you, man, if you ain't had them injuries, dog, I don't care what nobody say to me. And I ain't just saying this shit on because we Cowboys and all that. You would have been a dog. And I ain't just saying that. No, I'm for real. And so I just really appreciate y'all coming on, man. Y'all just some awesome guys. Y'all really down to earth. And I will say this. A lot of athletes out there got their heads in the cloud. Real talk.
Yep.
And I really appreciate how y'all so down to earth. Real talk. Y'all come in there. Y'all talk to the people. The fans in here were great. So I just want to tell y'all one last thing before I let y'all go, man. I really appreciate what y'all did for the Cowboys. I really appreciate y'all as people because, like I said, not a lot of athletes are, they just, I'm blah, blah, blah. Who you talking to? Y'all never came like that, man. And I just really, really appreciate that. And I won't forget that, man. And salutes to both of y'all with the Cowboys, your life, all that good stuff, man. So I just want to give a shout out to you for everything you're doing and what you continue to do in life.
Appreciate it, man. Thanks for having me on the show.
Hey, man, I appreciate both of y'all, dog. And hopefully we'll be talking again later this season. We can see how these Cowboys going. I can maybe bring y'all on and say, hey, man, our defense got a good this year.
Hopefully.
Or I might be hitting y'all up and saying, man, our defense is trash. Y'all make me sick. All right, but I'll talk to both of y'all.
But I'll
me too. But let's keep hope alive. But man, I appreciate both of y'all. I will be talking to both of y'all soon, man. And salutes to both of y'all for taking your time out tonight for doing this interview for me. Y'all been dope, man. And be safe out there.
All right, appreciate you, man.
Appreciate both of y'all. Love y'all. Peace. All right, man. Yo, hey. I'm sorry I didn't get to everybody in the chat, but I only had so much time to be able to talk to these guys because Barry had his family in, and Maddie had just got home from football practice. He's coaching out there. He's the defensive coordinator out there at Washington, man. But so much salutes to them for jumping in here with me. Really, if you didn't get to watch this, go back and rewind this and listen to what they were talking about the keys and things of that nature. That's the reason why I really wanted them to have them on, really talk about, what they see, cover 2, cover 3, different why schemes are hard and complicated. Just kind of bring us to more of an understanding of what's really going on that pro football field, man. So really just appreciate those two guys, man. That was really awesome. They're really good people, man. They really, really are. Both of them guys are good guys, man. So I just want to give another shout out to them again for taking the time out. Please rewind this video. I think it was a great interview from these guys. And tomorrow I'm going to have George T back on tomorrow. We're going to be talking about Patrick Surtain. We're going to be talking about Christian Barmore. We're going to be talking about the Alabama players that are coming out in the draft, particularly Surtain, because, they're saying that he could be the top 10 pick for the Cowboys. I'm a little iffy on him, much like Diggs. I was never iffy on Diggs. I just didn't want Diggs in the first round. Now, if you had a Surtain drop and I had him in the second, I would love it. I'm just a little iffy at taking him at 10. But, hey, maybe George T, because since he sees him more than I do, he can come on here tomorrow and maybe alleviate my fears of what I may be thinking or seeing. So George will be on here tomorrow. I got an offensive lineman that I'm waiting for the date of the commitment because I'm kind of trying to do a series. We had James Whalen on last week, and if you really need to watch, because James Whalen's converted from receiver to tight end, and he was talking about keys and things that he looks for. Hey, ho, what's up? Is that my dog, Charles? How's it going? What's up? And don't you block him. He said, don't block him. Don't you time him out. So I got your back. I said, don't you nobody time you out. I got your back. But, go back to that Whalen interview. He showed a lot of things that on the field of what to look for. And then you bring in the secondary guys, both play strong and free, and Barry and Maddie. And then we're going to, like I said, I'm going to have George T going, and we're going to talk about Surtain and think about, what his positive is and would he be a good addition. And then I got an offensive lineman that was like a 4-year starter for the Cowboys. And I want to be able to, what does the offensive line, footwork, handwork, you're playing it Talk to us about it. I want to start bringing in like players on the position, kind of like a positional series. Get a linebacker in, corners, offensive linemen. Touch that defense first, and then we hit the offense, get a receiver. So I'm just going to continue to work them phones, as they say, work them mics, all that good stuff, so we can kind of do a positional series on each position, so we can break down and so we all can understand what's really going on in that field at all times. So just keep on staying in tune with that, staying in the loop, because I got some good stuff coming up. So really excited. I was really tired from when I got home from work today, but man, those guys really just pumped me up, man. I just can't say them guys enough. Those are some good dudes, really, for real. Them some good dudes. Shout out to y'all, man. And they were good players. I'm just frustrated that I'm frustrated with Matty as far as some injuries, because I'm telling you, dog, I think he really could have been really good, for real. So I say, what? No, I know. I just said Charles. I didn't say man, woman. I just said Charles. I got you. If I did, I'm sorry. I apologize. Sorry. I did that before with Mercedes-Benz, Mercedes, Porsche, BMW. If y'all want to go back to that episode. So I am so sorry. Like, no disrespect. All I said was Charles, and no disrespect. Thank you for the support. But yes. Go back to that video with Mercedes. I think it was the Mercedes. It was Mercedes, BMW, Porsche. That's my dog. But when I heard Mercedes, I thought lady, because Mercedes are ladies. So he was like, I'm a dude. I was like, oh my God, that was so funny. If I could, I might replay that video. If y'all were there, y'all would see it. What's up, my dog, Ho Logan? I always appreciate the support, and I appreciate everybody who's donated today. Appreciate you, Jessica, for the $2 holla. Thank you. Appreciate you as well. Appreciate everybody who has donated. Appreciate all my members. And as I said before I head up off here, I'm going to step up the production tip. I got a producer. Actually, we're going to be talking tomorrow about getting stepping up the game on the production end. I told you I'm so 90s, like Gucci. I'm so I'm so 90s. Time to step my game up just a little bit. Get a little more in 2021. You know what I'm saying? Because I'm an old head. I do the old things, but it's time to step up the game a little bit. So I got a guy who's going to step the game up. We ain't going to be crazy with it, but we're going to step the game up a little bit. You know what I'm saying? And, make some things hot. Also, got the Goon Squad apparel, working on it right now. Excuse me. I got a designer who's going to design the shirts for me for the Goon Squad. Also, Big Game James. Whatever sayings we have coming out, but we're going to get those popping. excuse me. But like I said, I got a designer for that, and I really want to make that Goon Squad hot. So when I do get that apparel, we'll probably want to get it probably by mid-month or by the end of the month. We'll get that established and rolling out, and then I can send it out. We can members always first, and then kind of release it to the public. But just trying to create some things behind the scenes for the people. More Coach J Film Day videos coming out. I just dropped one on Tonga from BYU. I'm gonna drop JC Horn probably tomorrow, and got some other few players. Andre Cisco, safety from Syracuse. So got a whole bunch of guys getting ready to come up. So please support my dog, the Ninja. He said, I'm going to need that t-shirt. Send it, told me ASAP. I paid for a sewn up jersey. You funny. But yeah, we're definitely going to get that holla. Appreciate you, the Ninja, for the $10 holla. Love you, dog. Love you for life. You've been my boy. We ain't even met each other. You like my boy. All I know is when we do meet up, bruh, you owe me a fat ass steak. That's all I know. You owe me a fat steak. Shout out to my dog, Steve Lumpton, for the $5 holla on the Cash App. Really appreciate you guys, man. You guys have been awesome today. tonight. I'm excited. Great interview. Just a great interview today, man. Just I like those guys. Those guys are just really cool people. And I like being able to see athletes that don't have the heads in the cloud and just be like, hey, we kicking it, we talking football. That's what I really like. Yes, the ninja, you got them steaks on deck and I need one. So please, when we hook up and when I get back home, you know what I'm saying, come visit. I'm coming to visit you. We gonna kick it, take pictures, and probably do a damn show in your crib. You know what I'm saying? That's how we gonna do it. So make sure y'all stay on it, stay prepared. And had a great time, man. And just get ready for that stuff tomorrow, that interview tomorrow. Not really an interview, but that's my boy now, George Teague, tomorrow. And I think he just had Mario Edwards on the show. I'm gonna holler at George like, man, tell Mario to get on over here. Tell Mario to get on here because he said he was gonna reschedule, come back on. So he got that pool. Tell Mario to get on here because I want to talk to Mario because he was nasty as a corner with the Cowboys. He was nasty. So positional series coming up. Working on this offensive lineman. Once I nail down this time, I'll send the link out. Send the thumbnail for the player. And then we'll talk some offensive linemen. I'm not an offensive lineman guru. I always want to learn, and I just want to be able to see, how do they work, and their footwork, their handwork, and all that good stuff. Their hand placement. What's that?
Never seen that before.
What? Deleted by moderator. Google moderator. What's that mean?
I don't know. I've never seen that before.
Yeah, that's crazy. I hope Google ain't trying to come at me or YouTube. Yeah, well, I hope YouTube don't be coming up after me because they be tripping, bro. Yes, Steve, if they're going to be at Canton, hell yeah, I'm going to be in the building. Canton's like right down the street from me. That's only like, what, boo? That's only like what? Canton's only like a few hours maybe because we went to the Cardinals game. Remember when they had the Hall of Fame game? 2017. Who did they play? They played the Cardinals. Because that's when the game Rico Gathers turned up because he caught the touchdown right in front of me. Rico Gathers was turned up. It was 2017. Yeah, I think so. Was it 2017? I think that was 2017. Yeah, the Ninja. I've been to the Hall of Fame game. I went 2017 when they played the Cardinals when they had Rico Gathers and he was turning up in that game. Mm-hmm. Actually, I did a live show there. Yeah, I did a live show there, actually. We did a live show there. You ain't lying, Hulk. Yes. You ain't lying, Hulk. You ain't lying on that one. Yes. See, that's why I talk to y'all. Y'all putting them things. Dog, that coast to coast trip will be hard. Because I'll be kicking it. Oh, yeah. I'm going to just have my mic in all kind of people's face, too. I'm going to just be real bold with it. Like, hey, I'm just going to put the mic in their face. Thank you, Hulk, for that suggestion. We're going to see if we can make that happen. Was it 2017? David said that. It was 2017? Okay. Appreciate you, David. KMT said, "You've been to baseball and basketball." I ain't never been no basketball Hall of Fame, dog. How's that? The Hall of Fame game is dope, though. It's fun. It ain't a big stadium or nothing, but you right there. You know what I'm saying? Like you right in the action. You know what I'm saying? Like that's the first time I really saw because I had just got into the media game, so I hadn't really saw a lot of the players. So Michael Irvin, I ain't gonna say I was the groupie guy or the starstruck guy, but when I saw Michael Irvin, him and Tony Romo was like right in front of me, and I just got into the business. So yeah, maybe I was kind of sweating him a little bit. Maybe I was, maybe I was the starstruck guy the first time. What? What? Solo. What are you talking about? Yeah, you know she ain't going nowhere else. Well, you know I ain't going nowhere without her. She ain't gonna let me. She ain't gonna let me go nowhere without her. A coast to coast trip? Hell no, she ain't gonna let me go. She's like, you ain't going. She's like, yeah, you ain't going. You ain't going by yourself. Hey, I can hear y'all. You know what I'm saying? So Jim Law said he'd be the party guy. Yeah, you will. You be turning up, Jim. You gonna drive? Hey, the Ninja, don't lie. Don't play that game, bruh. Don't play that game talking about you driving, because I hate driving. I like having license, but I hate driving. So don't throw that out there. We get to Texas, bruh. You can definitely drive for real. And Jim, I bet you be turning up. You look like you turn up, Jim. Yeah, you be looking like you turn up for real. Yeah, that means you cannot drive, Jim, because you turn up. You know what I'm saying? We need that designated driver out here. You know what I'm saying? You be turning up. You're going to have to be in the back seat, knocked out, 024ing. But hey, man, that was dope, man. Really appreciate you guys. He said, KLT said, he said he got to be a truck driver. Bruh, I hate drive. I'm gonna just tell you right now, I hate that Texas drive. Oh shoot. I feel you on that. Who keeps putting who keeps putting them out timeout? Right there. Sigadiqua Charles. Nobody who put you in timeout? Who put you in timeout? Because I ain't nobody trying to put you in timeout, Miss Adika. Yeah, I feel you. That liquor nourishment. No, I don't need that. I don't do that. He said I didn't do shit. Said a Google operator. See, Sadiqa, it's probably this Google moderator because it's timing out people. Yeah, Sadiqa. So that's what it is. It's not. So that's what Jessica was probably saying too. 024, baby. Yeah. Yeah. So that's what it is, Sadiqa. It's that Google moderator thing, because I had a couple other people tell me the same thing, that they were getting timed out. And I'm like, where? I never saw you timed out. So it must be that Google thing acting all weird, man. It just did it to my boo. See? Yeah. Wow. Really, KMT? Wow. That's crazy. Now, you know, y'all got to watch. Y'all see, they hating now. Let me not say too much because they zap my show right now. I'm going to be quiet. The Illuminati will try to zap me. They probably listen to me right now. Yeah, so I'm sorry, Sadiq. That was definitely them. Okay. I will, KMT. Yeah. Yeah, I will. I'll do that as soon as I get off here, because I never seen that. I was wondering why people were saying they was getting timed out, and they was hitting me up saying I keep getting timed out. I'm like, bro, nobody's timing you out. Like, I'm not timing you out. Like, you're not even saying nothing wrong. That's crazy, man. It's always something up in this piece. You feel me? Always something. But it's whatever. You know what I'm saying? They can't hold no. They can't hold us down. Yeah, they the real goon squad for real. You right, they the real goon squad. Yeah, we down. We gonna come to Iowa. We coming to Iowa, bruh. We just gonna figure this out, okay? We're gonna figure this out. Me and Boo gonna figure this out. Yeah, we're gonna figure this out. We're gonna figure this out. Cause number one, we're going to Hawaii for young Wilson. We're going to Hawaii. I don't know if we do anything else. If we don't do a road trip, we're going to Hawaii. Okay. So young, just make sure you listen to this episode. We coming. That ain't no joke. We're gonna be there this summer. So, and that's definitely a show. Yeah. I mean, Texas got 100% lift. I don't care. My state lifted it. I'm scared though. He said, make Law buy one. That dude is rich. Yeah, Law got bread. Law got bread. Yeah, for real. My dog BJ said he said he loved when BJ James. You know, I'm gonna keep it real. I felt so free, BJ. I felt so free, BJ. Like I was, I had the mic up here. I was talking to her. I said, man, give me that shit. I just took it one day, like BJ. I just took it. It was sitting right here. Just give me that. I felt free, BJ. I was like, you know what I'm saying, BJ? I was like, damn. Why I ain't been holding this mic why I ain't been? I feel like LL Cool J in this beast. I'm holding the mic. Give me that mic. Yeah. So yeah, BJ, the mic's staying in the hand now. You know what I'm saying? Like, yep. That's me. Oh yes, you know it. You know law is GQ 100. Law is GQ 100. I could never like if we go somewhere, like I gotta go. Like if we were to go somewhere nice, me and Law, I had to go shopping because he's already gonna outdo me. He already gonna outdo me. You know what I'm saying? Law gonna outdo me already. You know what I'm saying? So Dapper Dan. Law is just Dapper Dan. Like Law to me can rock the bow tie. He rocks the bow. I can't rock the bow tie. Law can rock it. I don't think I can rock the bow tie. Law can rock. Law. That's my dog. He be doing it. Jawad. Chippy. Now that you said that, Juwan, you know what? I'm gonna have to kind of looking at me right now. I do look like a damn 80s DJ. I'm not even gonna be. I'm gonna agree with you. I'm not even gonna fight you on that. KFT say he rocked the bow ties, but they the $10 ones. I don't think I've have I ever wore a bow tie? Of course you haven't. I think my mother used to dress me in them damn bow ties because don't y'all tell nobody. My mom had me wear suspenders like at school. Like my mom was dressing me, y'all. I was so mad at her. Like I would go to school and I'm like, Mom, everybody wearing jeans and t-shirt. You got me dressing up in a tie and shirt and suspenders. I'm like, Mom, this is just school. She like, you gotta look good going to school. I said, no, I don't. Everybody is looking normal, and I got suspenders with ties. Really? Stop that, Mama. I was so damn mad when she had me wear them suspenders at school. I was like, I ain't wearing this. She's like, yeah, you are. Because I had never wore suspenders. So when you pull them down, they chill and they look all right. I was like, okay. So when you pull them up, they pull up. Yeah, well, I don't like that. Okay. So when I went to school that day, I was just really mad at my mother. Like, I didn't talk to her all day. I'm like, nah, I don't want to talk to you. How was your school today? Man, just leave me alone. See, Hulk, and but Hulk, but did you like it? Did you like it, Hulk? Tell the truth. Tell me, did you like it? Oh, damn. He wore a rainbow. I wasn't doing them, though. I wasn't wearing. I thought it bad enough. She was giving me them blue and black. You know what I'm saying? Because my mom was the type. My mom back in the day, she was a type. She got me this. I'll tell you the outfit too, and don't y'all try to clown me. I had some blue, nice dress pants, and she got me this. Shirt was like a pink and blue shirt. I had this tie, it had pink in it. And I was like, come on, man. She said, real men can wear pink. I said, all right, whatever. Yeah, but back in that day, you in the 80s, wearing pink. No, not in the 80s. Labels, like Barry Church said. He said Big Game Urkel. Yeah, you could say that. I probably was Big Game Urkel. But you probably was big Let me see your big ass in some suspenders, the ninja. That'd be some funny shit. That'd be some funny shit. Take a picture in some suspenders, the ninja, and send it to me. Yeah. Yeah. I get it. Yeah, I get it. Yeah, he said don't ask for that. You a wild, bro. You was funny as shit. Like you a low key comedian. you got some good jokes, but all I want is them damn steaks. Don't stop sending me them damn steaks, and you ain't stop sending me them pictures of them steaks. You ain't sending it to me via on like FedEx or something. You know what I'm saying? But guess what? We'll be down there to get that food. But as I'm saying, man, damn, 6'4", 135, dog. You slim fit nooker for real. I thought I was slim fit. That's slim fit. That's super slim fit. But yeah, let me get off here because I got to go to bed, man. I put in like 10 and a half hours a day. Came straight from I ain't trying to throw the boo-hoos on you. And boo thing's cooking. I need to go to bed. I did like 10 and a half today. 10 and a half, almost 11. Came straight to the crib with the interview. Running on fumes. Feel me? So let's get this in tomorrow. Gonna get some good food. I think we got the ninja. I think Boo is cooking some. I don't know if she's cooking some steak, but she got some meat. I think we got some shrimp. She doing. I'm gonna send a picture to you. I think she gonna hook it up. So I'm gonna send the picture to you, the ninja. Boo think cook a little bit too, so I'm gonna send that picture. Hey, for sure, Stevie. I appreciate you, Steve. Long time. Where you been? Where you been? I ain't seen you in a while. Where you been? For real, where you been, dog? I ain't been seeing you in the face, man. I missed you. Surf and turf. Yeah, what are them surf and turf boxes? Okay. Hey, gotta make that money, right? Gotta get that money, man. Gotta pay them bills. But hey, let me get off here. I'll talk another hour, damn it. I won't shut up. Make sure y'all in here tomorrow for George Teague. We're gonna talk about them Bama players, get his thoughts on them Bama players, 2 players in particular, Mr. Surtain and Mr. Barmore. Let's see where they might fit in if the Cowboys may go that route and get a good scouting report from Mr. Teague. And hopefully he can convince my guy Mario Edwards to jump on the show with me. I need that. And I got an offensive lineman I'm talking to right now, just trying to iron out some dates. So stay tuned. Silver and Blue Nation, big game, James. You know how we do, man. Really appreciate y'all. Love y'all for life. And we'll do it again tomorrow. Be in the building. And we'll talk all that good stuff. I'm out. Peace.